pretty big jar of fun stuff to work through.
Yeah.
This is,
we'll have Hank pick some out.
Hank, do you want to eat half of these without anyone losing?
Ready?
I think that Clint and I may be on different pages when it comes to how vulnerable we've gotten, and I think he's hopeful and he wants to have those conversations, but I mean, there hasn't really been any time that he's like tried to sit down and dive deeper into conversation or ask me any type of questions that would lead to like a deeper, vulnerable conversation.
I like to go to the bottom.
Okay.
To get the deep ones.
Well, we're going through all of them, so.
Yeah.
But I mean, at this rate, we are halfway through, and I know that if Clint and I are going to continue to progress and grow in any way, we definitely need a little help.
Oh, here's a good one. Do you avoid asking for help?
100%.
Yeah?
Oh, yeah. Delegation phobia is my #1 toxic trait.
Do you think it's toxic?
Yes.
Really?
For me, for sure, yeah. I grew up with a single mom, so I was forced into independence at a very young age.
Yeah.
Probably like 7. Feeling almost like a burden if I was asking for help. So now that I'm older, it's hard for me to ask.
I'm very much the same way, as very independent. But I also know when to ask for help.
Yeah.
The one thing that I probably need to let go of from my childhood is...
I mean, at a certain point, I had to let go of feelings of like the fear of rejection or abandonment or like feeling like you're enough, but that just stemmed from like having my parents divorced at a really young age and then having a dad that didn't really make an effort to be around.
Yeah. I mean, not having that father figure there,
Yeah.
I mean, that's tough. And I kind of know what that is. Not like full time, but for the majority of the week, like my dad was never there. My parents got married at a super young age. Like my dad graduated college. My mom had me before she could graduate. And then my dad had to walk to work to do construction, to provide for a family. Like there's a lot of sacrifice they had to make from like family time to be able to provide for us, or like provide the life they wanted for us. So yeah, that's like, that has to be super impactful for you.
Yeah. And growing up, it's like you're kind of encompassed in your life, right? So I never really thought about that until I was like with other friends and their dads, and I was like, oh, that kind of sucks. Like, why isn't my dad wanting to make the effort?
Yeah.
It was just something I didn't even realize affected, like, even more so, I think, relationships, because you have that feeling of like, well, if your dad isn't making an effort and that's such an impactful person in your life, then why would like any other man do that?
Yeah. So I've learned a ton tonight, and it's very good context to like her entrepreneurial spirit and her independence and how she gained that attribute about herself. So it helps me kind of navigate later on, like expectations or, you know, things I don't have to ask her later on, because I know probably how she'll, you know, react to certain situations and how she'll be competent in situations because I have that as context. Gina and I are getting all the way to that crust tonight. What's your biggest insecurity and why?
My biggest insecurity. Like for me, I'm a workaholic, but that stems from like not feeling like I'm doing a good enough job.
Yeah.
Or like financial stability, things like that. I get insecure about that. You see certain things and you're like, okay, well, I'm definitely gonna aim for like financial stability and success and all those things regardless of what you come from.
Yeah. I'm more insecure about like just not fulfilling the things that I want in life. I mean, I'm 40 years old. You know, I'd like to have a family. Mm-hmm. I want to have kids. Mm-hmm. I want to eventually have kids, and I still have a lot that I want to see.
40's still young. I definitely enjoy being a salon mom, and a dog mom. So I think I would be a good mom, but it definitely depends on the person. And so I'm just thankful for the fact that Clint and I are on the same page. And at the end of the day, we can relate in a sense of wanting the same things out of life.
The thing I wanted to wait to tell you until we've been together longer is...
This is hard to say. I have legally changed Hank's last name.
No.